Good morning, everyone. What is public relations and how does it work within your strategy? Today, let's talk about it. Good morning, everyone. My continued mission is to always bring you my referral partners, introduce them to you to share both marketing and operational information. Why? Because operations are so tightly wound in to marketing, and your marketing just doesn't work if your operations doesn't work. Good morning, everyone. My name is Paula Mattisonsierra. I'm from Power Marketing SF, and I'm the host of 10 at 10. This morning, I have Grant Lira on my show. Grant is from Empathy Firm, public relations, social media verification, modern public relation god, because by the way, verification is a real thing. Morning. How's it going?
Paula, what is going on? Thank you for that awesome intro.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. I mean, I don't think I really know the depth of this story, so I'm excited to hear it myself. So, how did you get into public relations?
So, keeping it like not an hour long, me and my business partner,
Please.
before he was my business partner, he was my brother. So, I started the company with my brother, and we both were in college together. And we've been doing, this for a while longer than we've been doing it on paper, but we never decided really to, I guess, take it super seriously. There was always something else we were focusing on. And I was at my computer one night in my college apartment, and he gave me a call. And this guy that we've been following on social media for a long time, and this guy that we've watched his YouTube videos, gave us a lot of inspiration and content for us.
Yeah.
He actually agreed to be our mentor, which was kind of nuts because at the time we had like
Mhm.
almost nothing to show for what we've done. We weren't really a real firm or agency, and so it was really cool and exciting. But then we also realized, hey, we kind of need to like pull it all together yesterday. And so I asked him like, how long until we have, you know, how long till he said that he'll mentor us? And so, yeah, I pushed it out for a month. So for about a month after that, we were doing schoolwork every day. And then at around 6 or 7 p.m. at night, me and him both would sneak off to this building in, on campus that was
Yeah.
usually locked. So straight up, we pretty much broke into the building every night, and we'd set up shop in a classroom, and we'd work there from like 7 to like 4 in the morning. And I mean, that was like a month straight. We would just be going, setting up scripts, websites, fulfillment channels, all that stuff. And then finally we were ready to go. And this guy helped us out so much, obviously saved us a ton of times, ton of money, but more importantly, he linked us into his network. So that's where we actually got like
Mhm.
our start, is he introduced us to a lot of his contacts at national publications. And that's how we were able to start fulfilling pretty much immediately on some of these crazy press, pages. So now we do that consistently. And that's kind of the overview of our story, how we started.
That's huge. But it's also so cool to be able to do something with a sibling, someone who's known you for a while, knows all your stuff, you know,
Oh,
and
yeah.
still
Oh, yeah.
likes you anyway.
And it's cool too, because
Yeah.
like a lot of the times trust is a huge stressor in a business relationship. And like for me, I've never once had to worry about money or like being screwed over or anything like that, because it's my brother. I live with the guy. And so because of that, it's just opened my like bandwidth up where I don't need to worry about that stuff. And it's nice. So obviously I know a lot of people can't work with their siblings, but if you find a business partner that you like legitimately trust with your life, it is going to make your life so much easier.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So let's jump right into our topic here. Modern public relations. We both have our opinions on it. I love your perspective. What does it mean to you, Grant?
Totally. So, back like maybe even 10, 15 years ago, it was definitely more like the print media, right? So like getting
Yeah.
into magazines, stuff like that. And obviously with the internet,
Television.
yeah, changed a lot, right? A lot's different. So really modern public relations is more of the digital aspects of these magazine publications like Forbes, right? Getting onto their website. And arguably, it's more beneficial because you can track more, you get more out of it, you can leverage it differently. And it's interesting because it plays into the ecosystem of your business. And what I mean by that is you can use social proof badges on your website. You can have those articles rank on Google. So it's all like coming into different aspects. And it's more than just, okay, I'm in a magazine. Now I'm going to sit back and wait and maybe something will happen, right? When people actively search information for you, they can start to see that stuff. And I promise you that every single person that hops on a call with anyone on this call or listening to this call does their research, whether that's before, hopefully it's before, maybe it's after. I mean, personally, I know I don't take a call with anybody until I've at least Googled them or check out their website. I'm sure a lot of people here are the same way. So having that and putting your best foot forward right from the start. So when they Google your name, they see all of those publications talking about you. They see the podcasts you've been on. They see all that other stuff. That's gold. And that's really a huge differentiator that a lot of people aren't paying attention to. But that's my kind of answer to the past and modern PR.
No, absolutely. I mean, even till this day, I know people are still tied into so many other things, but I always ask if you're well, if you're going to review me, just do it on Google.
Absolutely.
You don't need a username, password. It's seen by more people, and I get more ranking if you do it. So I'm good with that. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
I love LinkedIn and all of those things too, but it's slightly hidden. And I
Go
wanted to be
Google.
exposed to the world to show the experience that like you had with me, let's say, and all that plays in with PR in the modern era. So what is the difference between a press release and a full feature? I think that's important for people to know because it's still kind of muggly to folks, right? It's like public relations really in essence is a free item. It's like you're getting free press in these things, although you're still tied to the labor that needs to go into it, because if you're hiring someone like a grant, you're going to have to pay for that, right? And so yeah, my phone's about to literally go off in the middle of this, so um, um, but and so prior to that, it was just getting placement in the right magazines and television and whatever publications were out there. But of course, now we're saying it is definitely tied to digital. Um, but there's still things that you have to do, right? Like your press packet and your full packet. Explain to folks how does that start? So not just to say what the press release is and the full feature, but explains what those are, please. I don't know
Totally.
if I said
And
too much, but
no, it's
whenever
not.
I meet people, they always have they even when I explain it, they're still like shut down. So
Understandably. And I'll keep it pretty high level
yeah,
because if you've never like done press yourself, talked to somebody about press, it is pretty confusing, like just being transparent. I'm going to try to make it make as much sense as possible. And I won't dive into this because there's a bunch of different types of press. There's a
absolutely.
press release, there's a full feature, there's a listicle, there's a mention, there's a quote. Like there's a bunch of different types of press. For this conversation, I'm just going to focus on the most common two, which is a press release. That's probably the most common, and then a full feature.
Yes.
Full feature is less common, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Press releases are awesome if you are starting your company and you need social proof fast. Now, they're really good because you can get into a bunch of sites. When we do our press releases, we blast an article out to over 250 publications. And these publications are going to be like ABC6, Fox 11, right? The smaller subsidiaries of those big parent companies that everybody knows. The issue with that is they're obviously going to be copy and paste articles. So they're going to be the same. So if you want to send one, you can probably only send one or two before people are going to be like, that's interesting. But what's really, really important with these articles is you get to use the logo of the parent companies of these articles. So if you're on ABC6, you get to use the ABC logo. You get to say as seen in ABC, featured on ABC. And if you're a brand new company, you get a ton of social proof right off the bat.
Mm.
However, those press releases do not exist forever. They do not stay up forever. So
Wow.
and that's for all press releases. So just keep that in mind. If you're ever talking to somebody about a press release, they are going to go away. You're
Yeah.
renting that space. You don't own it.
Yeah.
Moving over to full feature, this is a little less common because it takes a lot more work to do. And you need to actually have legitimate connections to make it happen. So a full feature is something like you would expect out of press, right? It is an article written about you, about your company, about something you've done. It has your links in there. It has a bunch of other stuff, and you can still put your links in the press release, but I'll talk about the difference weighted value of links. With the full feature, it is about you.
Yeah.
You own that space. That's your digital real estate. It's not going anywhere. It sticks around forever. And that's the type of press that I focus on. If a company's already
Okay.
established and they already have that client base built up, and they basically want to start to build out their personal brand and their image, because those full features are going to be ranking on Google, right? So when you search, let's say our CEO's name, Gavin Lira, you're going to see his Forbes article pop up there. That's like one of the, I think it's third or fourth result after social, stuff like that. Same thing with me. You'll see my American Reporter article up there. Those are all full feature articles. So those are the main differences. The biggest takeaway, though, is press releases don't stay around forever. Full features do. But in addition to that, we can talk about links, link juice, which one gives you more SEO, how we can optimize for long tail keywords to get more people in your ecosystem. But that's a conversation for another time. Those are the like high level overview differences.
I'm playing devil's advocate
Yeah.
here. Explain to folks what social proof means and why it's important.
Totally. So if you go on our site, because like we talked about, we already know that people are researching us before they hop on a call. At least I hope they are, and they're not just taking anyone who floats into their inbox or vice versa. And social proof is like little badges. So like on our site, one of the first things you'll see once you scroll down is Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc. 500, like all of these badges of very well-known, reputable publications that we've been in. So that's like the social proof, where when people see that, they're like, okay, other people are talking about them. These guys must be doing something cool. And it works really well, actually. So it's cool. I think we even have Forbes in our email signature now. So just stuff like that to show that, like, hey, other people are talking about me and I'm validated by these other sources, along with, whatever else I'll send you as that pre-call kind of sequence. And we could talk about how to leverage press in that way as well in another call. But
Absolutely. Absolutely. And are all articles created equal then? Because that kind of flows perfectly from what we're talking
yes.
about.
Yeah. So definitely not, right? For example, search engine optimization, SEO, is an entirely different world. And a lot of the benefit of press comes from SEO. Now, knowing if you have a no follow link or a do follow link is extremely important. For those of you who don't know, it's basically the link that you have into your site in the article, the weight that Google puts on it. If it's a no follow link, Google doesn't weight it too heavy, so it doesn't help a ton with your SEO. It's still going to help. A do follow link is weighted very heavily, especially if it's coming from a reputable website like Forbes, for example. That is going to be able to get you a lot higher on the list for whatever keywords that you want to rank for. And we can talk about how we optimize for that in the actual article itself, but definitely not. I would say that my phone's going off too. So now we both had a phone call. I would definitely say that a press release and a full feature Forbes article are not weighted the same. One is definitely more valuable and sought after than the other.
See, for me, what I'm hearing is that this is so nicely tied in. You don't always have to take the SEO route, the hardcore SEO route, because at the end of the day, this is about developing content, verifying its social proof. By the way, and if folks don't know this out there, the Googles of the world has really changed how they've interacted. They've made it all about client experience. So they want to see that you're offering things that helps their clients, you're updating your website, offering great content, reviews, interaction, and this to me adds a lot of weight, doesn't it?
You're so right, Paula. And I've said that before. You're like spot on. If you're thinking of doing SEO, like do press instead, because then it's achieving the same thing. And we can actually go in and I won't get too tactical with this, but we can do the exact same thing that SEO offers with press.
Yeah.
but then you have something to show for it. And more importantly, it shows up on Google. People, when they're Googling you, which, like you said, they are doing, it's showing up there. So that's my 2 cents. Do
I love
some
that.
press.
I love that. I love that. And so, how do I earn media? So,
Yes.
and exactly what does that mean? Media. How are we describing media here?
Totally. So there's a few different like ways to get in the press, right? Earned media, which would be media defined by like the press, right? A publication, an online publication. There's earned media, there's paid for performance media. There's a bunch of different models. I can talk about some of the benefits and drawbacks of each. How do you earn media? Well, there's a few ways. One of the ways that I recommend everybody do, it is transparently pretty time consuming. It takes up a lot of time, but it works. Go make a Haro account, Haro. It's by Sitson.
Let me write that down.
And what they'll do is they'll actually send you 3 emails a day. And it's editors from publications like Forbes, but also obviously smaller publications as well. And they're looking for quotes. They're looking for like your input on articles that they're writing. So you'll get a long email. You can scroll down to like, if you're in business and marketing, you can scroll down to that section. You can answer a question that they put down there, and it may or may not get used, right? I've seen people get legitimately mentioned in Forbes from Haro. It takes a lot of time and it's not guaranteed by any means, but that is a way. Also, you can do like local stuff like in your community. Like that's a pretty good way to earn media, right? Having like local stations pick you up, stuff like that. And then obviously the biggest rule with press is nobody wants to talk about you until other people are talking about you. So really just starting that like that starting that rabbit hole like there and then going deeper into it is how we like to earn media a lot of times. And once you've
So
done a
starting
lot of,
local is best, then, is what you're
oh, for
saying.
sure.
Start in your own backyard and then blow up regionally to nationally.
Yeah. And it's easier said than done, right? Like there's a lot of things that you can do to ensure that that happens. And obviously, we've helped people do that before. It is very time consuming and transparently it's a lot of work on the person's end, which I don't know how many people like want to be doing that work, but that's one way to do it for sure.
Well, that's why they can reach out to you, though, Grant.
Definitely, definitely.
But it's just great to have the information so they can sit down and have a conversation with you. So that's pretty awesome, you know?
For sure. And press is it's such an interesting world too, because like you said, it's all about like the Google reviews right now are huge too. And if you guys don't know, you can literally have a copied link and you can just copy and paste to send to people who've worked with you. And then they can literally just go right like it when they enter the link, it takes it up like, hey, what's your star review? Like write something like it's awesome. I will say this, Google gets on my nerves with how they post the reviews because we have a ton of reviews that have not been posted yet or they have to like validate that they're real.
Can I tell
It's
you, by the way,
aggravating, but
this is the reason why I never, even when my clients panic about it and go, oh my God, can you just write it for me? Their algorithm can pick up
you cannot.
that they see the style over
Yep.
and over because there is, I mean, we're human, we're not machines. The style keeps popping up and that's the trip up, right? So even if you want to help your clients out, you know what they've been saying about you and trying to write that down and go, hey, you could just post this. That becomes a problem because it really does get seen, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
I'm like, no, just literally what you just said. You're trying to be fancy. I don't want fancy. I loved hearing that you're like marketing goddess. I'm like, say it, do it. They're like, really? It doesn't sound professional. I'm like, do it, do it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Well,
So,
that all goes back to your brand too, and like just building out your brand because so many people like me and Paula, like anybody can do what we do. Like they really can. The
yeah,
only thing that separates us from other people is our personal brand. That's what
exactly.
decommoditizes us. You look at like Apple, they have Steve Jobs. You look at Tesla, they have Elon Musk. And there are better electric cars that are cheaper than Teslas. But everyone wants to buy a Tesla because they know Elon Musk has that personal brand. He's an awesome dude for branding. Like if you want to like know how to brand yourself, like look at some of the stuff he does. Look at some of the stuff like obviously Gary Vanderchuck does. But
Yeah.
yeah, personal branding's huge aspect of press.
No, absolutely. And what should I expect out of press?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very important. Press is not a top of the funnel tool. It is not going to help you get a ton of new clients.
Thank you for
What it
saying that.
is going to do and what it's really good at is that middle to bottom of the funnel. Because, like we said, people are doing research on you. So, if they're already in your ecosystem, you've already pulled them in through paid ads, through a message, through cold email, whatever the case is, whatever channel, they what we aim to do with press is remove friction during the closing process. So whether that's them seeing you on Forbes and be like, okay, these people are the real deal, like they've, put their time in, they're on Forbes, or whether you send that out, after a call, hey, appreciate our call. I'm going to send you over an article we were just publishing. I think it goes over a lot of the stuff we talked about today. I think you'd find value
Yeah.
in it. But
Yeah.
that is the real goal of press. It is that middle of the bottom, improving your closing percentage, reducing friction in the actual closing process. Now, top of the funnel can be a side effect, and you can definitely get some business from just straight up press, and we have done that,
Yeah.
but it's not something to
Mhm.
rely on. So don't think that you're going to post an article and just leave it alone and then people are going to come in. You
Yeah.
have to leverage it correctly too.
And see, and that's my concern when people choose PR only. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, we've hired a PR agency. I'm like, only? No one else? Because it's fantastic, like you said, for social proof. And that strong social proof is so important as
Yes.
people are going through their client journey and making their decisions, right? So I thank you for that, by the way. Thank you for all of this. Hopefully, we didn't confuse you guys too much. One of the other big questions I get is how do I put together a press packet? And, again, guys, it's simple. I don't even mind giving this away really quickly. Making sure that you have your contact information, your bio information, your company information. The press release that Grant recommended, that's for timely information, news right now. And it's the reason why they don't last that long, because once the news is over, it's out of date, moving on to the next thing. That's why that full feature is so much more important. And the only tip that I can share about PR from my side of the fence is try not to always speak about yourself. And I think a lot of people, that's where they fall off because they think it
Yes.
should be like me, 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 and look how awesome me, me, me is. It's like include other people.
I'll interject on that real
Go
quick.
for it.
One of our most successful articles that we've done in terms of bringing us business, and like I said, it's not supposed to be top of the funnel, but it happens sometimes. One of our most successful articles has been an article where we talked with the editor and we wrote it from a different person's point of view who learned something from us. And that person is then sharing with the audience what they learned from us. It is not from our point of view at all. It's not even really talking about us that much. It's just talking about what we talked about together and what they learned. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
spot
Absolutely.
on.
More community, more collaborative, more go giver, more givers gain. And if you go into it with that mindset, you're going to get so much more out of it because think about it from the writer and the newspaper and the publication, the online sources point of view. They're looking for great stories and news. It's not about featuring you. It's really not the thought line, but it makes you look good by showcasing others as well. It only says fantastic things about your brand. So
Totally.
um, that's a great way to wrap this up because I feel like we could talk about this one forever. I mean, we had
Yeah, we
so many
could.
other things we wanted to discuss, everyone, but we had to weed out the questions because they're so meaty. Grant, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do they connect?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely shoot me a follow on Instagram. It's grant.lira, Grant Lira on LinkedIn, or you can send me an email directly right to my inbox. That's going to be grant@empathyfirm.com, grant@empathyfirm.com. And I'd love to hop on a call and just clear anything up if you guys have any more questions. Yeah, I'm love talking about this stuff. Love educating on press because like we said, we could talk about this for a while, and I hope I did a good job of succinctly trying to like summarize a lot of this stuff.
You did. I mean, it's such a meaty topic,
Yeah.
and that's the magic. If people want to hear more, I say just reach out and get more information on it. Understand that Grant will be stalking you though before he even takes the call. He already told us
Absolutely.
that,
Absolutely.
right? So, guys, I want to end you with my quote. You've heard my battle cry from 2020 to now. It's going to be going for a while. Fight obscurity and stay visible, please. Um, 10 to 10 here's every Thursday at 10 a.m. on my Facebook Live page, Power Marketing SF. These videos are not meant to be a replacement to seek professional assistance. So if you need help with your either with your sales, your PR, reach out to my guest, Grant Lira. Thanks again, Grant, or myself for more strategic marketing, the whole kit and caboodle. Please reach out. And Grant and I, we're going to be doing some things together. So it's, definitely, we would make a great pair for you guys. Viewers, you continue to amaze me. Thanks for sharing all the information and commenting and asking questions. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of the day, Grant. Again, thanks for being on. I appreciate you. Take care, everyone. And as always, keep moving forward. Bye.